Now, from Into Tomorrow, this is an ITTV special report.
Our next guest is providing driving directions in a much more natural way than perhaps we've been used to. That caught our attention. He is the Vice President for Map and Content Products for EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, and Africa, for NAVTEQ. It's Frank Pauli. Frank, welcome into Tomorrow. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
Glad to have you with us. I liked that whole concept of directions in a more natural way, because if we're driving with someone, they're certainly sitting next to us not saying, in 100 feet, turn right, because you'd look at them like, are you crazy? Why are you talking like that? Well, shouldn't our navigation speak to us as if it's someone sitting next to me?
Yep.
And you're doing that.
Yes, exactly. So you give a very good summary of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And indeed, we've been talking to consumers in many different countries on all relevant continents. And that's exactly the feedback that we get. So commercial navigation is available now for around 15 years. And people like it. People like the help they get. They like the fact that they don't get lost. They like the fact that they drive more efficiently. But still, they tell us that it can be better. And that's exactly the way you describe it. They tell us, I don't want system technology kind of guidance telling me that I need to turn right in 250 meters because I don't know exactly where the 250 meters is. And when there are 3 streets at 250 meters from here, I still don't know which one of the 3 to take. So I much rather get natural guidance, the kind of guidance which you would get, like you described, when your friend who knows the area is sitting next to you, and your friend would typically tell you, turn right at the church, turn right in front of the bar, turn right at a petrol station.
So you're really giving that detailed information. It's not just maybe make the next right or take the second left at the next traffic light, but you're actually saying things like, at the church, turn right.
Yes, absolutely. So in every point where you need to make a decision on which direction to take, we provide to our customers who build the consumer applications, we provide multiple cues, and we make sure those cues are relevant for every different direction you can come from when approaching that junction. So there are typically multiple cues, and we provide them in the relevant context, making sure that you can see them, making sure that you can see them independent of the season, right? Because when there's a tree in front of one of the cues, you might well not see the queue in summer when there are leaves at a tree in comparison to winter.
So you're actually thinking that much into this that depending on the time of year, even whether or not you'll see whatever it is I'm supposed to look at.
Yes, all that intelligence is in the data that we provide.
And that's one heck of a database. I mean, it's one thing to have a simple map database, which of course NAVTEQ and others have had for years. You guys seem to be leading that for a long time. But the fact that now you're really getting into that much detail, I mean, how do you know there's a church on the corner?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we've been building that massive database very strongly based on an approach where we have local specialists who know the area, who know the local dialect, who know the local authorities. And these kind of people, we have 1,000 of these geographical analysts around the world responsible for their respective pieces of the map. And they are instrumental in providing this kind of information leading to the cues that we just discussed.
And you're describing that as natural guidance, right?
Yeah, that's how we describe the product. We pretty much like neutral descriptive names for our products, as we don't sell our products to consumers, but we sell them to system integrators. So our customers could well create different names for that, but our generic name for this product is natural guidance, which I strongly believe very well describes what it's all about.
And we can't go out and buy a NAVTEQ system because, as you mentioned, it's really from other providers. Who are some of the more well-known providers using NAVTEQ?
Yeah, we are the leader in this space, as you mentioned before. We started this 25 years ago. We celebrated our 25th anniversary earlier this week. So
happy anniversary!
Right,
that's a milestone, no doubt.
And we sell to the car industry. 9 out of the top 10 car manufacturers use our data in their integrated navigation systems. We sell into the consumer electronics industry, so personal navigation manufacturers like Garmin, or in Europe, Medion, Navigon use our data. And now more and more into the mobile industry. So both from a handset manufacturer perspective as well as in the operator world, many companies use our data to support navigation and location-enabled applications.
And Frank, a good point there too when you talk about various mobile devices now, because whether it's our mobile phone or a handheld GPS unit, there is so much more detail that we can and should get. And this, of course, natural guidance is the next step. How soon might we see it on consumer products?
Yeah, so we announced the product here on a global basis at IFA. We make our first shipment to our customers in our Q4 release, so that's the November-December timeframe this year. Then our customers take a few months to compile the data and integrate it into products. So during 2011, we do expect products to come to market in each of the 3 segments that I just described.
Cool. So watch those smarter companies who early in 2011 will have this particular guidance from NAVTEQ, because you've got the database, you continue to work hard at it, and those folks around the country, around the world for that matter, are helping input that database and keeping it current. That's got to be the hard part, right?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. And that's again where our own analysts come in.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the world, one of the interesting elements we believe is that this kind of guidance could well be even more interesting in some of the emerging markets around the world. Some markets which have not necessarily been exposed to mapping or digital mapping, and who just now are about to adopt the notion of navigation, and navigation helping you to get to your direction. And natural guidance might well be the way how countries like India start to discover navigation. So this will work in the mature markets, but probably even better in the emerging markets around the world.
Excellent point. You want to check out what Frank and his team are up to, you can visit NAVTEQ.com, NAVTEQ, NAVTEQ.com. Of course, we'll have a link for you when you hit our site at intotomorrow.com. Frank, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Keep doing these cool things, because that means we get to talk about them.
Sure, we will. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Our pleasure to have you with us. We're back with more. I'm Dave Graveline from IFA in Berlin, Germany. Into Tomorrow continues on the Advanced Media Network.